Hi, hello, and welcome to the 1111 Divine Lover series brought to you by Vertex. My name is Serene Priestess of Pelosi. I'll be your oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the Divine Partnership Assessment. This is the Dharmic, true soulmate twin flame aspect of the union. So this is the divine cohorts here. If anything resonates deeply with you, go ahead and comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a consult, send a donation. If you're new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Vertex of Abundance is a galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. You belong, to welcome home. We will be imposing the guidance from the Thoth Tarot. That's by Aleister Crowley and Lady Frida Harris. Illustrations. It is published by US Game System. Just a quick prayer for all those still lost out there to illusion, delusion, confusion, lost in the seas of time, traps when the matrix, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the resplendent grace of the divine, unconditional, loving, universal oneness of Anapana. We love you. We're sorry. Please forgive us. Thank you. We ask that our steps are ordered, our path be illuminated, and that we find salvation and redemption in this lifetime. Okay, so we're starting with something that's genius. It ultimately, there was some type of intention, whether it was cleansing or setting an intention that happened in the recent or distant past, and it's coming up against this hangman. So eventually we will need to gain perspective out of right now what is perception. There will be an awakening after some cycle. We might need to surrender, sacrifice, let go, let God, whatever, what have you, so on and so forth. With the moon and the hangman, normally that gives us some kind of genius energy. So we're going to use the Vedic ability to clarify. Yeah, falsely thought something was hiding in plain sight. It was right in front of us, but we couldn't see because it was latent. You know, we're dealing with something that was unhealed, unawakened, amalata, the malady, the sickness, whatever, what have you. That's kind of where we are, what we have here. And we were just going with the flow. It says here, alegría, which could be kind of contrivial, you know, superficial surface level. We also have a pair of eights here, so we'll use the Cosmic Coven Minor Arcana to clarify these pairings here. Yeah, so there was a lot of rumination, time and indulgence. Okay, there's something needed to get over the hump. That we're going to need to raise their level. This energy was dealing with a more awakened or ascended field. Okay, so we're on the ascended side or the awakened side, and it's not better than, less than, it's like proximate location. One person may have a house at the 100 block, another person may have a house at the 800 block of the same street. So that's kind of what this is saying. This energy here needed to work with a higher frequency energy vibration, and that's why we were on a little bit of a delay. And it would have seemed like we basically had to get out. So we couldn't really experience healing together, is what this is saying. Now, whatever energy is mirroring us needs to surrender, sacrifice, let go, let God. There are things going on behind our back, over our head, out of our hands, and they're to broaden the horizons here. Gran cancelazione. Yeah, but something needs to be put to bed, to buried. Something went down in the past. Now, there may be some feelings here of growth, expansion, franchise purchase. So we're going to clarify this pair of threes. The pair of threes can talk about collaboration, cooperation, co-creation. Something needs to be taken advantage of here, maybe even seized or exploited. It's saying that we're both single and ready for soulmate union, twin flame union, four of wands here with the nine of pentacles. That means both parties are single and it's time to move forward. It can happen slow, it could happen fast. Okay, so we have the sun and the three of wands. It's coming into this cycle. Okay, so there's the need to feel connected, is what this is. And there needs to be some play or some fun or an invitation to something of that nature, something to that effect, essentially. You know, what's going on? This energy, I'm not getting a. I'm getting a fake out. I'm seeing things that are not there. There's some type of glamour around this. And it started out with the double eight, which can be spell work, especially with the moon there. That's interesting. You know, one thing I'm discerning is that we could easily move into this twin flame union. I mean, we have it here, the temperance card with the four of wands. And the whole thing started out with a reunion. Now we're the one that's stuck or sick or unawakened. We might not know, and we might have gone right up to the solution and gone around it because we tried it before and it didn't look the way we thought. But I'm gonna say this, you know, if there's a frequency, energy, vibration running through us, we might not see it until we move through that energy. We're hard to read with the falsita here. Something is we're seen as like a adversary. And if we knew what was they're waiting or looking or watching for something, whatever mirrors in this connection is waiting or watching something. It's basically healing is what's needed universally on both sides of this connection. There's been a lot of delays, some unfortunate circumstances in melancholia. This other side is contrivial, meaning they're not serious. They're making light of things, levity. They might not be direct, or they may need some type of crutch for courage or to remain present is what I'm getting here. So now we have the devil come out with the chariot. So I know most of the toxicity is not on our side. The thing about this is it does sometimes mean that we need to travel through the dark or to the dark or come out of the underworld or we I do feel like we broke free of some kind of circumstance that wasn't in alignment. We did need to find calmer emotional waters. We were on the river Styx. We needed to be kind of let out of the gate to the nether regions, the underworld. No, there may be comings and goings. We may even need to navigate to a place or a space with this chariot and the six of swords that's receiving grace. The obstacle is that there was some restrictions around it. There might have needed to be restraint, some type of regulation, rules. We might have gotten set down. Now we have a pair of twos with some type of partnership here. Okay. Yeah, so two of swords, two of swords, two of pentacles. So we're a pair of twos came out to clarify the pair of twos. Okay, so let me just say it this way. When there's a preponderance of twos, there's things are being coordinated. Okay. Now, three twos mean a compact. It's like an officialized agreement or partnership. It's usually task focused. Because with the devil and the king, okay, and then there's another two. So all four twos. Okay. I'm just gonna say, what I'm sensing is that there's mutuality between us and another person. We're barking at shadows. We're balking at things that are figments of our imagination, one or both parties. Two of Cups and the Page of Cups. So we're feeling connected, but we need to get that message. It might need to be mirrored back or communicated back. There may be a Capricorn Sun, Aries rising. For the Aries rising, they may have Mars and or Sun in the first house or in the sign of Aries. It may very well be, because we have 2, 3, and 4 of Wands with the Temperance card that already came out. So this side is recognizing that there's some type of primordial connection. It's not something that is logical, factual, rational. It's not linear rhyme or reason. But we have this fidelity here. There's some kind of fidelity coming from their side. And I don't think we did most of the unhealed activity, but we do need to come back or be accessible again. Because in order to heal, we had to withdraw our energy, and I don't think it's going to return easy. That's going to be the difficult part for us is we have to kind of come out to play or be reachable, approachable, accessible. And we intentionally did the opposite of that so that we cannot remain in any type of stagnant, stuck, low vibrational, so that we would have that emotional fortitude, that strength, courage, and wisdom, so that we would have the strength to carry on, to move forward. We kind of did a little switcherooning here. Basically withdrew our energy, Eight of Cups. because now something is very serious and very focused on connecting. But what we're needing right now is discernment. I want to check something I didn't check before. I want to know what that devil and the chariot mean, because maybe that means either uh, needing to move. Yeah, we needed to move. We have a couple of weeks before the cycle closes. We needed to kind of get out there. We need or be more intentional because we were taking space and we were fine with the space that was being taken. We were not actually planning on shifting or changing that easily, and that's the problem. Okay, so Queen of Swords with the star card can mean some type of moon in Aquarius, moon in the fourth house, moon in the 11th house, or Scorpio rising. Somebody may have their moon in Libra, moon in the 7th house with the High Priestess and the Two of Swords. This Queen of Swords, Two of Swords can mean needing discernment, needing deliberation, needing to learn. Something needed to yield to our authority as well. We might have restricted something in order to gain some clarity around something else, but their destiny is calling here with the star card. That's the calling on our life. It is our destiny. It's also hope, faith, and optimism. It's our soul's ambitions, essentially. So it's life, karma, spirit, path, destiny. Excuse me. Life, path, spirit, karma, destiny. I have to say it like that or I mix the words up. I don't get the right order. I miss something in there. Life, path, spirit, karma, destiny. It's bigger, brighter, and better. It's looking up above the horizon towards the stars into the future. That's the star card. It's basically faith, hope, and optimism, bigger, brighter, and better. It's soul's ambition. It's the calling on our life. Okay. Over the last week, something's been kind of pending in the background. It's near time. We've been spending a lot of time with gracious, exalted influence over this entire cycle, just kind of watching from behind the scenes, or feeling, sensing, intuiting, not doing a lot of anything I'm feeling. So it's time to clarify this queen because the queen is interacting with a lot. Queen of Swords here is the widow or the one who was made to cry. She's gone through an austerity, yeah, hilaros situation turned suddenly. And then there were tears, like I said, this piacere. There were tears previously because they were a loving support. And then this other side matured. Most likely this is us. So we've kind of gone dry or cold or bitter or estranged. And I don't really think it's the negative bitter. We just don't have a lot more to give because it's like touching a nerve. You know, we could have been loving, caring, kind empress. We could have had refinement, beauty, grace, nurturing, creativity, gestation, conception. Something didn't work out. We may also be dealing with the Lovers card and the Queen of Swords. There may be some type of Pisces rising or Gemini moon. Could be moon in the third house. There's also needing to yield to some type of authority. There may be Jupiter in third house, Jupiter in Gemini, Mars in the third house, Mars in Gemini. Before we had a lot of Aries interacting, now we have a lot of Gemini interacting. So we could be dealing with the Gemini Sun, Aries rising. We could be dealing with the Gemini Sun, Aries Sun, Moon, or Mars or Venus. The way that this looks is that it's time for connection. It's just that something is not kind of there's a bottleneck here, some distress on on one side. It's going to take a lot to kind of move towards this because we moved off of it. But there's a new belief, there's a new tradition, there's a new kind of way about something here. There might also be new policies, procedures, and protocols, new boundaries and standards. There's just a way to do this. There's a technique, a tactic, a tool, a theory. There's been some distress because that was a karmic cycle, 10 of Wands, the distress, 9 of Swords. But we're wanting to confront any type of fear. We're also wanting things to yield to our authorities. That's why we put up boundaries. We're not going to deal with certain things that we don't care. There's also this, if it's asked for, it may be given. But if it's not asked for, if it's not talked about, it's kind of non-existent. There is some kind of receiving favor here. So because there's a windfall, that might also be suddenly because it looked like it was over. It looked like dire days. But there's a new beginning. There's a new kind of union, agreement, covenant, vow, oath here with the Fool and the Hierophant. But that could also be a new priest, a new minister, a new type of. And if this is social at all, because it did start with the Three of Cups, that would explain a lot in terms of not being able to kind of be direct, kind of having to be a little Cancerian like a snake. I mean, well, didn't mean that, but hey, that could mean that there's something primordial, that there's something ancient. A snake is not always negative. It can mean that it's something below the surface, or it could be sinister, evil, and wicked. Let's just say what it is. I meant to say like a crab. Snake is Scorpio, the crab is Cancer. Crab moves side to side, it doesn't move direct. And I dislike that energy side to side. Be direct. However, sometimes you can't. Sometimes you're related to some organization or there's policy, procedures, and protocols. Maybe you meet at work or something, or a social club or whatever. You might not just be able to be like, hey, I like you, let's figure this out. You want to give it a go. It's not always like that. So we have the 10 of Wands here with the King of Wands. So there is a want to erect a foundation or want to complete or master a cycle. Somebody here is carrying a flame and they need to either get rid of this flame that they're carrying or figure it out. There's a windfall here as well with the Wheel of Fortune and the Death card. The spiritual world is kind of convened because actually I feel like both parties did the work just on separate sides. Legit, that's kind of like the butterfly emerging from the cocoon. So it's a consolation surprise. So whatever this is surprising. And yeah, it might have been a friend. There might have been something with the social group. This person wanted to be of a support. They might have even thought they were coming about this in a nice, kind way. That might not have been the course of action. So there's some desiring to withdraw still on our side. However, this universe doesn't care. They're trying to elevate us severely here. And when you have the Judgment and the World, it kind of means there's not a lot more clarity that's going to come from this. What I know for sure is that we need to go forward and go towards this. What I'm sensing is that on our end, we don't want to, but our nerves are raw. We were made to cry. We're kind of done. We had to move on, move forward so we'd have self-respect and be able to sleep at night. I've already given half a dozen reasons why not to. Still, it's saying like, do, go for it. Why though? If we've walked on, walked forward, we don't leave to teach them a lesson. We leave because we learned our lesson. And that's kind of like, now we need to spin the block and go back to where we used to be, go back to who we used to be, just to kind of check and see, like, what is that about? Okay, well, normally I would not advise. I would actually advise against such an endeavor. That's what it's calling to do, though. So there may be some plea or a petition for forgiveness. We might need to do that, and it doesn't always mean ask for forgiveness. It may be that we need to explain something like sincerely to set the record straight, disabusing them of a notion, because they are under the impression that they went about this in a way where we were fully aware or whatever about what the situation was, and it wasn't. We might be something that's less than the average, which is a good thing. We're not the common 50, 75%. We're actually the little small minority. Something about us makes us extra special, or something different gets close to us, gets our attention. Not a lot of people are direct. We might have required directness. Come out with it. Say it out loud. Go towards what you want. That might not have happened, and it, that consideration might have been made if we didn't meet or connect or have access to each other in the way or the area where we do. Because there's self-interest right now on our side, 5 of Swords, but everything's coming here into alignment. Okay, we're the one that needs to come out of confinement or isolation. It's us. And we're running the risk of doing something wrong because we gained the thing that we needed to by taking space. And here's the return. So this side is going to return. We need to grant forgiveness. Finally, at the very end, it looks better. Because on our end, for a while, it was looking strange for us. But something is broken. Some kind of illusion is broken, spell is broken. If there's confinement, it's over. Ten of Swords cancels almost everything out. Yeah. Something's been watching out for us for a while. And we have the King and Queen of Hearts here. And we need to put this to bed, lay to rest. 5 of Swords in reverse is burying the hatchet. Then we have Vidovo putting something to rest. So, oh my. And the reading's over. So let's go ahead, and we didn't get any matching energy. Wow, okay. I'm kind of stunned and surprised here. That was such a straightforward reading. I was still confused the whole time. But it's a general reading that happens sometimes. Let me recap. You know, we would draw energy so that we would have some kind of peace of mind. And whatever energy's on the other side has done their healing and they're coming forward. And this was painting us in a picture where we were isolating, but we also might have been under some type of celestial restriction. We were restrained, wrangled down in some kind of way, shape, form, or another. We had to sit in silence. We were sequestered, is what that is. We were sequestered. That's what that is. But now it's time. La fortuna, the wheel of fortune, it's time. Cupid's arrow is about to strike, and something is coming towards us. So it's been an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing us to do so. If anything that was said resonates deeply with you, go ahead and smash that like button. And we'll see you in the next one. Take good care. Bye-bye.